Good evening, everybody. Welcome to my live, and if you happen to be watching later, welcome to the replay. I'm glad you decided to hop on this evening. My name is Robin, and I'm with Robin's A Blue Creations, and I'm also an independent designer with Couture. So we're going to be doing a few smaller projects this evening. To be honest, I just decided about 5 minutes ago what projects I was going to do. So kind of bear with me as I may hit kinks or something in my projects. But if you haven't ever heard of Couture before, they are a company that will be celebrating their 4th birthday on July 1st, so in a couple weeks. So they haven't been around for very long. I've been with Couture since June of 2018, so I just celebrated my Chalkiversary last Tuesday. So it's been an exciting 3 years. I really love the product. And what the product is are reusable sticky back silkscreen transfers. So if you've ever cut a stencil or a decal out with maybe a Cricut or a silhouette cameo, you know, you have to weed the little pieces out. And if you're like me, you always lose the dots to the eye, or you lose the little period or punctuation marks at the end of the sentences, and then you have to recut it or find those little pieces. But because there's a silk screen in this material, everything is connected, and you won't lose any of your negative pieces. And they are reusable about 8 to 10 times, depending on how well you take care of them. So I'm going to use two 5x7 or size A transfers today. This one is, did you say exercise or extra fries? And this one is Meals and Memories Made Here. And the two surfaces I'm going to use are the 5x7 cutting board, and this is a one-time use only surface. And then I'm going to use the board and pillar. So it's this surface right here. So it's a 5.5 by 7.5, and you can either do it landscape like this, or you can do it portrait like this. And there's a little dowel rod that fits into this hole right here, and so you can put your picture or your chalkboard in there, whichever orientation you want, and then it just sits like that on the board and pillar. But today we're going to use it this way, or like this. So I'm going to go ahead and take it back apart. And I still had some bandana strips left from my project last week, so I'm going to use some of those. And then I pulled out some additional bandana pieces. So we're going to use those for one of the other projects. So I think I'm going to prep this surface first. I did say earlier it was a one-time use only, and the instructions do say to wax it. And I want to wax it because I don't want this transfer to stick to it or pull up any of those fibers, raw fibers that may be splintering. So I'm just going to use some surface wax. You can also just use finishing wax from Minwax. So I'm just going to take an extra cloth here. I'm going to put some wax on. When you hop on, go ahead and tell me hi. I'm using, sorry, I'm kind of jumbled this evening. I'm using StreamYard to stream to my Facebook page, my group, and YouTube. And so if you watch some other people that go live, they'll always be saying hi, and you can see that other people are watching. Well, with StreamYard, I can't see who's watching unless you comment. So for me to know that you're here, if you would just say hi and tell me where you're from, that would be great, because then I know you're here. So I'm just going to wax this, try to get it spread around. And I'm going to take another part of my cloth that's a little cleaner, and I'm just going to buff that wax out everywhere. And again, I'm doing this so that my transfer doesn't pull up any wood fibers. Because that's one of the key points of making sure that your transfers last the longest is taking good care of them. So I'm going to let that sit to the side and dry while we do the other project. And I did mention earlier that these are reusable, so I'm just going to say, I'm just going to write the name of the transfer on the back of the backer sheet. That way I know when I go to put these two back on their backer sheets when I'm done cleaning them tonight, I'll know which one goes where. And while I have my pen out, I'll go ahead and mark on this one as well. So then I can put that away. So we're going to use this one, Portrait, and I'm going to peel the backer sheet off of my transfer. I'm just going to put that to the side. And I'm just going to take my fuzzing towel and I'm just going to fuzz this maybe once. Because this is a boutique board from Couture, I don't really have to be very concerned about fuzzing it to get some of that sticky off. But if you were using raw wood or glass or metal, you would want to make sure that you were fuzzing it really well so that it doesn't stick too much to your transfer and then be harder to pull off. So I'm just trying to line it up here. You just kind of eyeball it. So I'm just going to take my finger and I'm going to rub it up and down the silk screen to make sure there aren't any air bubbles. That's pretty good. And then I'm going to take, I think I'm going to make it reminiscent of some McDonald's fries. So I'm going to do this part red and this part a fry color. But because I'm messy, I'm going to tape off using the placement tape. I'm going to tape this edge of the fries off so I don't get any red in there because I inevitably will. Remember, if you're just hopping on, or if you're hopping in, say hi and tell me where you're watching from. I don't know, because I'm using StreamYard. It's a specific platform to broadcast. It doesn't tell me who's coming in or who's watching. The only way I know that you're watching is if you say hi. And if you're watching from my group, the Crafty Collab, make sure that you give StreamYard access to your profile name. Otherwise, it just says Facebook user, and I don't know who's there. So whoever just commented with like this comment, I'm not totally sure who that is because you haven't given StreamYard permission yet, which is fine. You don't have to. That's totally okay. So I'm just placing some placement tape where these fries go so that I don't get red paste in there. And this is our Chalkology paste. This is Scarlet, but you could also use Candy Apple. And you kind of want your Chalkology paste to be the consistency of either sour cream or yogurt. This one is a little dry, so I'm going to add some distilled water to it and stir it up some more. Hi, Sharon. How are you? I'm glad you hopped on tonight again to watch. How's the weather in Delaware today? think that's pretty good. I'm just going to clean that off. I'm going to grab a squeegee. And so you just want to apply your chalk paste with a squeegee. So you just stick it in your tub and get a little bit. Might be a bit too much. And then you're just going to apply it like you're putting butter on toast, or like you're frosting a cake. And if you get a lot, that's okay. We can stick it back in the tub. And so now that I've got the entire silk screen covered, I'm just going to remove the excess. So there's that. And it's cool there. It was been cool yesterday. It was hundreds all last week. And then like 77 yesterday, and it is 90 today, but there's not a lot of humidity. Thank goodness. What I'm going to use the chalk and peel method, where I'm just going to peel this up. And actually, I'm going to get my blow dryer. I forgot to plug it in. Sorry about that. So I'm just going to dry this real quick with my blow dryer. Okay, so I'm just going to gently place this back down. I'm not even going to put any pressure on it. I'm going to clean this up before I end up wearing all of this red. So then I'm just going to remove this tape. Pulling my transfer up. Okay. So then I'm just going to rub this part back down because I did pull it up a little bit. Okay. So now I'm not for sure what paste colors I should use for the fries, so we're going to try to mix our own color. Zip. And see what happens. I'm not for sure what other designers have used, and I have so many old paste colors that one's really dry. Let's see if we can add some water to this. The chalk paste is made with natural ingredients, so it will kind of seize up from time to time or dry out, but you can add water to it and it usually will come right back. So this is pretty natural, pretty common. Although there is a new paste formula out called the Dreamy Creamy formula, and it doesn't dry out like this as much. Ooh, this one hasn't. This is what happens when you don't use your chalk paste enough. Let's get some more. different color. I don't know. I was going to try to lighten this up with this color. It still might work. Let's just try a little bit here. Mix a little bit of this old camel color. This one's even worse. Again, this is why you should use your chalk paste a little more frequently. But distilled water brings it right back. Anybody do anything exciting over the weekend? We had our 21-year-old had an extreme experience at Kansas City at the Speedway. He got to drive a Porsche 911, and he also got to ride along in is it a Dodge Charger Hellcat? I know it's a Hellcat, but I don't know. So he got to ride along 3 laps in the Hellcat, and then he got to drive 3 laps in the Porsche 911 with an instructor. It was a really fun experience for him, and he and my husband were geeking out all over all the sports cars, and I have to admit it was a lot of fun, and it was cool to be up close to all those cars. I mean, how often do you get the chance to be around Ferraris and Lamborghinis and McLarens and Porsches and Shelby Mustangs? I think that might still be a little dark for French fries. Let's see what happens. We'll add a little more of this light color. So if you ever get the chance to do that, go for it. It was a lot of fun. It was a hot day, but it could have been worse. I think that's pretty close to French fries. What do you guys think? Does it need to go lighter? It looks kind of like burnt fries, but I guess we'll give it a whirl. I'll use this one. You're just hopping on. Pop in the comments and tell me hi and tell me where you're watching from. That's the only way I know you're here is if you tell me. StreamYard doesn't tell me who comes in. Okay, so we're just gonna, that's pretty good. Just gonna have to be kind of careful around the bottom of the top of the fry box. I'm just going to pull that paste. Hey, Amanda. How was your vacation at the Yogi Bear Park? Excited to hear all about it. So I mixed some colors together to try to get this fry color. Hopefully it worked. I'm just going to pull it off. Yep, I think that looks like fries. So I'm just going to lay that over here. Does it look like fries? Did you say exercise or extra fries? So I'm just going to let that dry, and then we'll add some decor to it later. I will probably just toss that. Okay, let's get cleaned up and we'll move on to the second little project. What do you mean you think you had a good time? Was it hot there? Weren't you in Oklahoma? Was it hot? Okay. Okay, so let's put that one away and we'll trade it out with this one. Let that one dry. So on this one we're using the 5x7 cutting board and the Meals and Memories Made Here. And I did wax this when we started. And I am going to fuzz it on my fuzzing towel just so it doesn't stick as much. I'm only going to do it a couple times because I waxed. It shouldn't stick. And I think I'm going to do the transfer this way. Just line it up as best I can. I'm going to line it up with the edges. I think I'm going to move it down because I am putting a bow. I'm going to put some of this bandana piece right here. I think I'm going to move it towards the bottom. So again, I'm just going to rub around the silk screen to make sure that that's good and sealed. And we're going to use white and Couture coral on this one. I think I'm going to do white on Meals and then Made Here, and then I'm going to do Couture coral or Couture teal on the Memories. So I'm just going to stir this. My white has separated a bit. It's about time to order some more white. Okay, so I'm just going to dip my squeegee in the chalk paste. And I'm just going to drag it across there. And then I'm going to drag it across the Made Here. And then I'm going to dump my excess back in. And I'm going to get some of these. And then I'm just going to peel this because this is not the old, this is the old formula. And I don't want it to dry in the silk screen. So I'm just going to hit it real quick with the blow dryer. And I'm just going to place it back down. And so then we'll take the coral or the teal. I don't know why I want to call it coral. And this is the new Creamy Dreamy formula. If you see that little teal sticker on the top of the paste, and then that's the real or the new formula. So I'm going to take Let me get this off and stick it in the tub. Flip my lid back over and put that in there. So I'm just going to pick some up. And I'll show you. Remember, if you were here a little bit ago and I dipped into the camel and almond and they were really dry and they were kind of lumpy? Look how creamy this one is. And it's supposed to not dry as fast. It's just yummy, creamy goodness. So I'm going to pick my squeegee back up and we will get this paste down. It's just like buttering bread, frosting a cake, smearing cream cheese on a bagel. So I'm going to wipe off the excess. And then I'm going to put that there. I'm going to take that back out. I'm going to stick that on top of my tub and close the lid. Okay. So then we're going to peel that up. That is my favorite color. And I don't know if you can see, but I got a little bit there. And so I can just take my wipe. I can just wipe that off. Now, if I'd gotten some of the red there, that it might have stained a little bit, but because it's the white, it should be okay. So I'm going to hit this with my blow dryer. I did get a little bit outside the lines, so I'm going to take this detail tool. It has a small, tiny squeegee on this end, and if you take the cap off, it has a point on that end. And so I'm just going to take that pointy end, and I'm going to scratch some of that off. Kind of bled through a little bit. And that's probably because of the wood grain. So there's that. Okay. So we'll come back to the fries. I'm going to put it in my pedestal, and I'm going to do it backwards so you can kind of see. See, like there's a hole here, and there's a hole here, so I can either put it this way or I can put it this way. So I'm just going to insert it into the pedestal, and then there's a little hole right back here, and you just line those two holes up. There it is. So there you go. So then I'm going to use some of these. I know they don't quite match, but I'm just going to use up these strips because I have them, and two, I can always put this on my 4th of July display, and it'll match. So I'm just going to tie this one bandana strip to the pedestal. And I think I'm going to cut some of these in half. I don't need them so long. So I'm just going to crisscross the white one. Hi, Oliver. Hi, Thea. How are you? Hope you guys had a great vacation, and I can't wait to see you at Girl Group tomorrow. So then I'm going to crisscross the blue ones. And then I don't have very many red ones. We'll fold that one in half. These were left over from the fabric strip banner that we made last week with the USA pennant banners. I think that's, let's see what that looks like for now. So I'm just going to take my tails. Let's see how full this looks. And I'm just going to tie it. And then, because these are longer, I'm going to trim these. There you go. Actually, now that I've got it on there, I think I might move it up. I think I want it higher. So just undo that. And we can undo this one. I think I'm going to put it up here on this base if I can. Let's see. See if it stays. Okay. Put these back on. I think those are my tails too. So then I'm just going to tie it again. Yep, I like that a little better. There you go. And then when I'm done with this thing, I can wipe it all off, take off the ribbons, put another transfer on there, and have another DIY home decor piece. So I'll leave that one there. And I'll grab this one and we'll do the same with this one. So I have these extra bandana pieces from a fall banner that I made a couple of years ago. So it's these little arrow pieces, some of the mint, and some of the navy. Way too many pieces. These are a little shorter because I cut them already for the other banner. I think let's use this navy piece. These are all short. So then we'll just, I think we'll cut these in half as well. And then next one. I'll do another arrow. Don't forget to hit the heart or the like button. If you're on YouTube, hit the thumbs up. If possible, share this video or tag your crafty friends in the comments. Okay, so I'm just going to tie this off. And the tighter you tie it, it kind of bunches, and it bunches it, but it also kind of gathers it out at the same time, so you can see a few more of those colors. I think that's, and then you can always just spread them apart. They can go different directions. There you go. Meals and memories made here. So those were a couple of cute little quick projects we made. Again, this one is one-time use only, but you could also do the back. So if you wanted to keep a general design on here, and then you can flip it over and do a holiday design on the back. And so then you'd have a two-sided decor piece. This one is reusable, so I can wash this one off when I'm done, dry it, and put a completely new design on it. I can also flip it so that it's landscape. So if there aren't any other questions, I'm going to hop off for the evening. Again, thanks for joining me, and I will hopefully see you maybe tomorrow night or Friday. So again, thanks for hopping on, and I will see you later. Good night.